To Ethiopia next, the UN Security Council is set to meet this Tuesday on the Tigray conflict, which has sparked a refugee crisis and raised fears for the wider Horn of Africa region. Ethiopia has given the Tigrayan leadership 72 hours to surrender, something which they have refused to do. For more, I'm joined by our correspondent Maria Gerth-Niculescu in Addis Ababa. Thanks for talking to us, Maria. Well, we heard there about the Tigrayan leadership refusing that demand for surrender. What's the latest on the ground?
Well, further forces are now advancing towards the regional capital of Tigray, Mekele, in an attempt to surround the city with tanks and launch a final attack unless Tigrayan forces surrender by Wednesday. The leader of the TPLF, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, said that government forces were losing on several fronts and that they were using the 72-hour deadline as a cover-up. He also said that his people were ready to die to fight for the right to administer their own region. The government is saying that it has taken back several cities across Tigray, including the historic town of Aksum, where it is accusing the TPLF of having destroyed an airport. And the TPLF last week accused the government of bombing a university in the capital, Mekele. Human rights organizations are now expressing their concerns about the government's intention to target Mekele, saying that targeting civilian populations would be contrary to international law. The UN's High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, also urged all parties to the conflict to spare and protect the civilian populations. An army spokesperson had warned residents of Mekele to save themselves before fighting begins, saying that there would be no mercy after that.
As you were saying there, Maria, plenty of international voices urging an end to this conflict, some kind of a ceasefire. Both sides so far sticking to their guns. What kind of chains of mediation are available?
Well, several attempts for mediation have already failed. Abiy Ahmed said that he will meet with the special envoys of the African Union, but only out of respect and not because he intends to negotiate with the TPLF. The UN Security Council is set to meet today for a first meeting about the situation in the Tigray region. The US National Security Council, as well as the French Foreign Ministry, have also called for negotiations, adding to the list of countries and organizations who've called for a political solution to the conflict, which has already displaced more than 40,000 people. But the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says the TPLF leaders do not want peace. He says they are trying to internationalize the conflict to their own benefit and that the TPLF is threatening the constitutional order of Ethiopia. He also said the country was capable of establishing the rule of law without external interference. So negotiations don't seem very likely at the moment, and the battle in Mekele will probably not be the end of the fighting, which some say could continue for weeks or even months.
Maria Gerth-Niculescu in Addis, thanks for joining us.